Hey everyone, it's AJ and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, me and my sister Sarah have been creating videos and content around our love for stationery, art, and journaling. And we're actually in the midst of planning our very own art shop launch, so we're very excited for that. In today's video, I'll be walking you guys through a tour of my stationery bag, the types of items I carry and store inside of it, and a little bit onto the little decorations that I've added onto it. So let's get started. So before I get started on the tour of the bag, I wanted to first touch on what I've been using so far to carry some of my stationery things when I'm out on the go. And so I have this Delfonics bag in the small size. So this one's actually the larger size, and I've only been using this smaller size up until now, and it's a very small and cute size. I think it's like very convenient to bring around. I really like this bag, but there are some cons to it that I've realized from using it. And so I think the first one is actually just the color. I think I just chose black because it was like the simplest and cleanest option for me at the time, and I thought it just had like a clean, minimal look. But I noticed over time that it would collect a lot of lint. I have two cats, and so a lot of their hair would always find their way onto this bag, even if they've never touched it. And so I've always noticed that I've had to clean it and take off the lint just because it would bother me so much. In terms of the bag itself, it is pretty small. So when I tried using it with my journal and carrying some tools with it, so I have my Hobonichi here, and it's like roughly the same size as the pouch itself. So when I put it inside the pouch, it's actually a pretty snug fit. And so I kind of have to like wiggle it around in here until it kind of fits snugly. And so you can see that this is like already challenging to begin with. So you can kind of imagine like if I'm trying to take this on the go, it's not very practical because I'm always using my journal at home as well. And so when I need to go out, I want it to just be an easy process to like transition things into this bag. And so I'm able to close this bag, but if I wanted to add other things like pens and markers and washi tape, I would have to put it in these other pockets on the exterior. And these aren't super secure. I think these pockets wouldn't be meant for things like fountain pens or anything delicate. So I would put loose papers in here, but I would want to keep anything valuable and more precious inside. So I wouldn't carry a journal like the Hobonichi Techo in here. I could probably fit my traveler's notebook perfectly fine, the passport size one. But anything bigger than that, I would probably try to find another option. And so I think just like the space was a big factor for me and why it didn't work. I can imagine this being like a standalone bag that I pack within like my backpack or within another bag, but I couldn't see this being like something I just take on the go and it would suit all my needs. It would probably be used in tandem with another bag that could hold my larger items and more organizational items, and this one would be used for like scissors, a little sticker book, a memo pad, little things like that. So yeah, great little bag, but I'll move on to its big brother, which I picked up earlier this year. And so this is the Delfonics bag in the large size. So you can see side by side, this bag is substantially bigger than the smaller one, and you'll kind of understand more of it once I open it and show you guys what I can fit inside. But yeah, just from a glance, you can kind of tell that this one's more substantial and it can actually be used as a bag itself. I can just carry it around with the strap and it feels like I have everything on me. Whereas if I put the strap on the small one, it would feel a little bit too small. I definitely can't fit that much into it. So this just matched the whole vibe that I was looking for in terms of like a bag that could carry everything for me. And so for this bag, it is the large size and it comes with a lot more pockets on the exterior and on the interior. And so I bought this bag from a store called Smith, and you can find these all over Japan, but they sell a lot of the Delfonics products as well as other bags. And so I knew when I visited, I would see the whole range of things that I could choose from. So I was kind of deliberating between a few colors, and I landed on this gray color because I learned from my other bag that I didn't want anything that was dark. or too contrasting, just because I wanted there to not just be a lot of little lint that I can see, but also so I could decorate it and let the decorations shine above the fabric of the bag itself. So I chose this warm gray color, which I really love. For the Delfonics bags, they came in 3 different sizes, and so this one definitely suited my needs more, and I'll go into why this one is more suited towards what I'm looking for. But kind of like an overview of the bag itself. So I'll go through first the exterior. And so the strap that I bought is one that is also by Delfonics, and it's the strap that you can easily remove from the side here. So there are these fabric loops that are on either side of the bag, and you just simply attach this strap at the end. And then you have this bag that you can carry, kind of like a crossbody bag or a messenger bag. And I love that it's also adjustable, so you can carry it higher up on your body or across your body. It's really versatile that way. And I absolutely love this olive color. It's one of my favorite colors. I love green. I thought this matched the whole vibe that I was going for in this bag. And so for the outside of the bag, I wanted to add a lot of decoration to it, just to add some fun things from either my interests or things that I just liked how they looked aesthetically. And so going through first on the side here, so I have this really cute embroidered patch by an artist named Nicole Josephine, and it features these autumn themed things like mushrooms, an acorn, a little beetle, a pine cone, and then on the back it says forager. And I just really loved the whole aesthetic of this patch keychain and how each of the little illustrations looked. So I bought this from her a couple years ago from the Toronto Stationery Fest, and it's followed me between a lot of different bags. I love how it looks. I love the color. I also like how it matches the strap pretty nicely in terms of color. And so there's that. And then I have this little keychain that I got from Japan, and it's of the Yamanote line. And if you kind of like move it like this, you can see that it shows some ginkgo leaves, and ginkgo leaves are my favorite types of foliage. I love the way they look. I love the different colors they come in. And so I knew that when I saw this, I needed to get it instantly. I got this keychain from the general store Rail Yard in Akihabara. And so if you want to pick this up, they have a bunch of different subway lines that each have a different motif with them. And so yeah, super cute. And it also matched the whole aesthetic. It kind of gives like a whole autumn theme to the bag. So that's for the side of the bag, these 2 little keychains. And then on the front of the bag, I have a few pins on this pocket, and this first one is a pin of these fish called iwashi in Japanese, which translates to sardine. And then I have this little lavender pin. I actually forget when I picked this up, but I also liked the look of this little pin, and I love flowers. I have this little cat pin of this cat that's drinking water, and that will also remind me to hydrate. And then lastly, I have this pin at the bottom of Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. It's one of those Ghibli films that are very peaceful, calm, and it's one of the less whimsical of the Studio Ghibli movies. And then for this pocket, I have this little Mountain View pin, and this one I believe I got in Seattle, so this just reminds me of the landscape of when I used to live there. I had a great time living in Seattle, and I really loved exploring the landscape when I was there. And then the last thing I have here is this little paper clip keychain, which has this little quotation bubble with a heart in it. I just thought it was cute and I wanted to add it to the bag. So I have this little dangly aspect to it. And yeah, that's the decorations. So I'll go over the actual things that I have on the exterior, and then we'll head over to the inside. And so on this right hand side, I have 3 little pockets here that I think are meant to store pens and stuff. So I have a pen here. I have the Uniball 1 pen. This one I picked up from a stationery haul that I did with Sarah. And this one's in this nice minty sage color, which I really love. And it has this little cream clip on the side. And so this is the perfect size to fit in this little pocket here. And in the second pocket, I have one of my most precious pens. This one is the Kaweco Bronze Sport Pen that I got as a birthday gift a couple years ago from some friends. And this one is a pretty hefty pen. It hasn't developed a patina just yet, but I'm excited for it to change and oxidize over time and kind of just see how time has aged it. And for this last pocket, I'm not sure if I'll keep doing this, but I use it to store extra ink in case I do run out of ink while I'm out on the go, or if I'm on a more extended trip and I need to refill. And so this one right now contains the Pilot Yuruliku Yamaguri. And so I use this a lot in my Pilot Vanishing Point pen, and I use that pen a lot. So I want to make sure that it always has enough ink. In this pocket, I carry my phone tripod. So this is my magnetic phone tripod. I believe I showed this in my stickers video in how to use stickers. But basically I store it in here as a quick way to have a way to film while I'm out. And so I'll just whip this out of the pocket, put it on my phone, and then I can just film me doing some journaling at a cafe, or if I just need something quick to mount my phone onto. On the left side here, I have my trusty Penco clip. And so for this clip, I'm using it whenever I'm journaling and I need to keep my journal open. And so it has a really nice space on my bag here. It fits perfectly on this little horizontal piece of fabric. And I love how I can swap this in and out with the other clips that I have in my collection. And so based on the mood I'm in for that day, I can just swap colors and just have a whole different vibe for this whole bag. I'm just going to take this clip off so it's a little easier to maneuver this bag around. And so on the back here, there are a few pockets. There are two down here that don't have any closures, just like the front. And I haven't really found anything that I would feel like needs to be back here. And on top here, there's this larger pocket that spans the whole width that is secured by this little Velcro. And I don't have anything in here right now, but I'll probably be using these back pockets as more of like a situational thing. So if I needed to store extra papers, like an extra sticker sheet or like a memo pad, something like flat, I would add it to the back of the bag in case I ran out of space everywhere else. And so that's an overview of the outside of the bag. I really love how I've decorated it, and I'm excited to see kind of how it evolves over time and to just swap things in and out based on how I'm feeling. But yeah, so far I'm really loving it. I like how pretty neutral it is, but it has like a little pops of color here and there. But the whole thing feels pretty cohesive to me in terms of colors, pairings, having it with the strap. I think it all goes together. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. And now moving into the main pocket. So this pocket holds a lot of my bigger items. I try not to have it too packed in here because I know I'll be carrying this with my strap sometimes. I don't want it to be too bulky against my body. So I try to fit a maximum of 2 bigger items in here, but I also have a couple items at the top here and a couple in here as well. So right now I have my Yuruliku tool case. And this one I picked up from Japan, and it was included in my Japan stationery haul video. If you haven't seen that yet, I picked up a lot of goodies from when I went to Japan last. And so this was one of them that I managed to snag the last one of. And I'm still proud of that to this day because these are handmade and they're very limited stock. On the little zipper here, I have this little radish sprout character that I picked up from the Wonder Pen store in Toronto. So I believe the artist behind this is named Helen, and she runs the Coffee Monsters Co., which is a stationery brand, and this is one of the little characters from that. So very cute and a little subtle way to add some charm to this tool pouch. So when I open this up, I have basically all the tools that I need in here for when I'm journaling on the go. And so on the left hand side here, I have all my writing tools. So I have a pencil, a pen, an eraser, and I have a bunch of Uniball pens here. And these are all the metallic versions, and this one's the black one. And then I have this watercolor brush that is pretty slim, and you can store the water in this bottom compartment. And I'll basically swap things in and out of this pocket based on what I need for that day. But this has basically been my standard so far in the things that I need. I don't need anything too fancy, and these just cover all the needs that I have. And then on the right side here, I have this little pocket. And I have a bunch of little things in here. So first here I have a bunch of little stencils. So these ones are all the little tools and toys stencils that I got from Japan. And these ones cover basically all of the use cases that I'm looking for whenever I'm in need of a stencil. And I have this one by Stadler as well. This one I used when I was in school for industrial design. And so this one is very useful because it has a bunch of more geometric shapes that I can use in my journal spreads. And then the next thing I carry is this little translucent cutting board. I love how small and portable this cutting board is. This one was recommended to me by Sarah, and it's been very useful in times where I need to cut some paper or just do like a little craft while I'm out. It fits very easily into this tool pouch and it's pretty low profile, so it's nice to have when I'm in those situations. And the second last thing are sticker sheets. So this is pretty biased, but right now I'm carrying all of the ones that we've made for Nookens, and these have come in so handy when I'm journaling because they each have little topics and they usually pertain to something that I'm writing about. So I'm always using these, and we've been designing a lot of new ones that we're very excited about, and so I like carrying these whenever I go out. They're very practical to use and easy to carry, so I just have them in this little pocket here. We're still continuing to design more of these, so they'll fit more and more use cases, but so far we're very happy with how we've come so far, and we're excited to sell these when our shop launch finally happens. And then the last thing here is a pencil board. So this is pretty practical. I use this when I'm journaling and I want a little stability under the page I'm writing on. And so this one is for the weeks, and I like how it perfectly fits into the tool case itself. So all of these together fit quite snugly in the pocket here, and there's definitely more room for things in here, so I'm excited to keep adding more to this pocket. And that's a tour of my tool case. This one is definitely going to be a staple in my bag just because I feel like I won't be able to do a lot without the things in here. So I can see this as something that basically never leaves my bag, and it will always be something that I take along with me. So the other thing I have in here is my Hobonichi weeks. So in terms of the other item that I would carry alongside the Yuruliku would just be whatever journal that I'm using for that day, whether that be my Hobonichi weeks. I also have my Hobonichi Techo. I have a traveler's notebook. I have my sticker book. So I can basically see any of these journals and binders being swapped in and out of the bag depending on what I'm doing in that day. So I like how flexible that system is, and that I carry my tool case, but I also have like my main journal on the side. The main reason actually why I wanted to get this bag was because I wanted something to carry my traveler's notebook. I loved how this one was basically the perfect size that I was looking for, and it carried it with extra room to spare. So that was a key selling point for me for this Delfonics bag. So that's what I carry in the big pocket, normally my tool pouch and a journal of some sort. So moving on to the back side of the case, I have these two metal tins that I carry some little things. So first I wanted to mention that these tins are by a company called Firefly Notes. So they're a Canadian company and they produce these in Richmond, BC, but they come in a bunch of different designs. Right now I have this one that has a black cat on it because I love cats and I thought the design was really cool. And I also have this tin that has a moth on it. I love moths and I just love the color scheme of that as well. And so I'll go through each tin. In this black cat one, I like storing a bunch of my tools. So these are all very miniature versions of things that I have at home, but can't really pack that easily into my bag. And so starting with this, I have this giant gold paper clip. I don't really think I've used this so far, but I just like the look of it, so I just carry it in this little tin. Second, I have this cat themed item, and you might think at first thought it's an eraser or it's like a stamp, but it's actually a little pair of scissors. It might not be the most practical pair of scissors, but I just couldn't help myself because I just loved the design and I thought it was a really cute way to store scissors. The third thing here is this utility knife. So this one only comes out this far, but it definitely suits my needs when I'm on the go and I just need to make a quick cut on something, or if I'm just like cutting a photo and pasting it into my journal. I'll use this with the cutting mat that I mentioned before that's in my Yuruliku case. And then this fourth thing is a little ruler. So this one comes in two different sizes. the 15 centimeter and the 30 centimeter. So the 30 centimeter one was about this long, like double the length. But I bought this one because I thought it was perfect for my needs, because I didn't need anything super long when I'm on the go and I'm doing some light journaling. This one fit perfectly in the tin. And I also liked the design of this. Normally with 15 centimeter rulers, they'd just be fixed at this position, but I like how you can easily just fold it up and it becomes very, very portable. The last thing I have in the tin are these little paper clips. So this one is from a set by the Travelers Company, and then this one is a little Chikawa one that I got as a bonus gift from purchasing some Chikawa goods. These ones I haven't used that much because I haven't needed to really bookmark on the go, but I do like having them in case I do need to save a page or if I'm flipping back and forth a lot in my journal. So those are all the little things that I have in this little tin. And this tin holds quite a bit, even when it's full. So when I put everything in here, it still has quite a bit more room for a few more flat items. And it keeps it all compact in this little tin, which I love. So it's easy to just pull in and out of my bag whenever I need some of my tools. And this moth tin, it holds some of my washi tapes that I bring on the go. And so this one can fit 6 washi tapes pretty comfortably. It does only hold 6 of the half-size ones. So I prioritize just having more of the half-size ones more than the standard ones, so I could have more options on the go. I've just been rotating it based on which washi tapes I want to bring out with me. But yeah, this is the current collection that I have. And I make sure the ones that I choose spans a lot of different themes or like vibes or even color, just so I can have some variety there. And aside from the washi tape itself, I have my washi tape cutter by Kokuyo. And I love this because it's very portable. It's so easy to just store in here. It can cut anything up to the standard size washi tape. And it has this little jagged edge here. So when you put the washi tape in here after just opening this little clip, you can pull your washi tape up and then just rip it against that jagged edge. So very, very useful little tool here, and highly recommend it for anyone who's looking to use their washi tape in a more portable way when they're on the go. And so that's all for this second tin. Having these 2 tins, while they are pretty small, they do carry a lot of the more important things that I need for journaling. So I'm very happy that I'm able to find a practical use for them in my bag. And they fit very snugly into these back pockets over here. And I'm not too worried that they'll be dented or anything because it is just right against my tool case, which is soft. And then I think this is the last part, but it's the things that I carry in the front. And so the first thing I have here is another cutting mat. So I actually don't really need this because I have my Alvin one in my Yuruliku tool pouch. But this one I just couldn't resist getting it because I just thought the design was kind of cool. But it comes as this little folder design and you just pop it open like this. And it becomes a little foldable, more portable version, I would say, than the Alvin one. The Alvin one is very small and portable, but this one is maybe even like half the size. So I do like how I can just whip this out and then use it to like cut things on as well. It was pretty inexpensive and I do really like this brown color, so that justified me getting it. And then lastly, I have this pocket, actually not for a stationery item, but for my Omamori charm. This one I picked up from an event in Toronto called TCAF. It's the Toronto Comic Arts Fest. This one is a Princess Mononoke Omamori charm. And I just really love how the design looks. This is also one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies because I just really love all the characters. I love the whole vibe of the movie. And so I gravitated towards this one. And on the back here is usually the meaning of the charm. And so this one says ward against evil. It has all these little kodamas. And these are my favorite characters ever. And so I'm glad I got this charm because I was just really drawn to the color scheme and the whole vibe of it. And I just keep it in my journaling pouch to keep me safe from all evil. And the artist that I got this from is named Momo Gigi, so be sure to check her out. So yeah, that is the last thing that I have currently in my bag. And so everything in here fits very snugly. I can probably fit like one more thing in here if I really wanted to, like something horizontal or slim, or even maybe like a third really slim notebook. So I have a few things that I can also imagine being swapped in and out of this bag. And the first thing I have here is my portable Midori stamp box. So this one is capable of storing 1 Midori stamp. A lot of times I find it pretty hard to figure out how to bring a stamp with me out on the go. So this box enables me to do that. and I could just feel more safe about the ink not getting onto anything in my bag by using this box. The second item I have here is my art toolkit. So this one Sarah reviewed over a month ago, and I haven't gotten around to actually filling in the pans. But now that I have this bag, I'm very excited to do more watercolor and more fun things when I'm on the go. So I'm excited to fill in each of these pans with some watercolor paint, and with my watercolor brush in my toolkit, I can easily just like whip it out and do some watercoloring on the go. And because it's so slim, it's very easy for me to just put it here or on the interior. And so I'm very excited to bring this on the extended day trips where I plan to do some watercolor. And the last thing I have here is my portable photo printer. So the one I have in here is my Canon Ivy. And so this one I've used kind of sporadically. Usually when I'm traveling, I will bring this with me. But because this case is pretty thick, I can just take it out of here. I can see myself putting this in one of the interior pockets and then having this on the go when I'm doing some journaling and I need to print out some photos and then use my cutting mat to cut those out and then put them in my journal. This will be very useful for the days where I want to do more heavy journaling when I'm out and I need something to kind of print out my memories and stuff. So yeah, those are 3 things that I can definitely see being swapped in and out of my bag. And I think like situationally, I can see more things in my collection being able to go in and out of this bag. I love how this is super portable and super versatile in all the options that you can achieve, all the things that you can pack into all these little pockets. I think overall, I just really appreciate the flexibility of this bag, the really nice fabric, how it's really easy to decorate and add some personal charms to it. And also the color options. The color options for this bag are really extensive. It comes in a lot of different colors, but also like patterns and also different sizes. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more portable and lightweight and can carry just like your main tools and like a small notebook, things like that, then I would go for the smaller Delfonics bag because it can suit all those needs. But if you're looking for something that you can take along with you for an extended day trip, or if you're going out journaling with other friends, I would highly recommend the larger size of the Delfonics bag because it's just like so versatile. It suits all my needs and I'm sure it will suit a lot of other people's needs. And I think with the addition of the strap, it just makes it an even easier choice. So I don't have to bring a backpack and then put this in the backpack and then have to carry that around. I can bring everything on one little pouch and just have it be super convenient. I'm excited to watch this bag kind of evolve and change as I use it. I'm curious if anyone in the comments has this bag and what you use it for, because I want to just see all the different possibilities and all the different configurations. I want to just be inspired to use it in all the ways that are possible. So yeah, that is a tour of my stationery bag. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you do end up buying this bag after watching this video, then I'd feel pretty good about it. If you have any other brands of bags that you love, I'd love to know them in the comments. I'm always looking for new and interesting ways to carry stationery around because stationery is not always the easiest thing to carry around. There's just like so many different sized things, so many different shaped things. It is kind of like a hard thing to wrap your head around. So I'd love to know if there's any other systems out there that make it efficient and easy to do so. So thank you again so much for hanging out with me today. I had a lot of fun going through all of the items that I have in my bag and sharing them with you guys. We're already halfway through the year, which is pretty crazy, but I'm excited for what the rest of 2025 has to come. I'm excited to finally have a system that I believe will work for me, and I'm also looking forward to how that can change. And maybe 1 year from now, it'd be cool to do this again just to show how everything has evolved over time. And with that, I hope everyone has a beautiful and restful weekend, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!